Hey everybody, welcome back to Build a Website from Scratch with HTML and CSS. This video is called Getting Your Hands Dirty. This is my favorite part. This is where we put together a little mini website with everything we've learned so far from this section. So that is the abbreviations and quotes, the aside, the header and footer tags, IDs and classes, nav section, article spans, divs, and the time tag. So we got a lot to cover in this one. So open your code editor in your lesson 4 folder, add an index.html file in the directory. Add your basic page structure and give it the title Getting My Hands Dirty, or whatever you want to call this title. Okay, first things first, let's build out the structure of this web page. We're going to add a header, and then we're going to add an article, and then we're going to add a footer. No, sorry, an aside, and then a footer. So let's kind of add a little bit more here. So within the article, we're actually going to have a section. Close this section. We'll have another section. We'll have 3 sections actually. And then we are going to start up here in the header. Now that we kind of have a basic structure laid out, let's give the header the ID of main header. And this is what I like to do. This is called an HTML comment. I'll show you what it looks like. So that's what a comment looks like. You can use comments to write certain things in the source code of your website without seeing it on the front end. So if I save this and check it out, you won't actually see the comment. It's hidden and only in the code. It's basically for direction for the developer who's coding the site. You can add whatever you want between these two funny little things here. So this is how you start a comment, and this is how you end a comment. Anything in between there, you can write. You can write whatever you want. So I like to add HTML comments at the end of a tag that has an ID or a class, so that you can see where the tag ends. Especially when you have a lot of code, it can get confusing when you have lots of sections and divs and IDs and classes. It's good to it's good practice to put, in my opinion, to put a little flag at the end of the tag to let you know when this specific tag ends. All right, so in the header, let's add a level 1 heading and say a blog post style web page. And then under that, let's add a p tag, a paragraph tag, and say here is a sample blog post article. All right, in the article, let's give the article the class of blog post. And at the bottom of the article, add an HTML comment saying end blog post, so we can see where it ends. In this first section, we're going to give this the class of post-head. And again, HTML comment and post head. Let's give this one the class of post body, HTML comment and post body. And the last one will be class of post foot and end post foot. Okay, make sure to save that so you don't lose your work. Within the first post head here, the first section, let's add a level 2 heading and say this is a blog post title. And then under that, we're going to add a paragraph tag. And in the paragraph tag, we'll say this article was written on August 30th at 3:37 p.m. or whatever time it is for you. You can use that for practice, because we're going to add a time tag around this, and we're going to use the date time attribute in the time tag to say what time we wrote this article. So for me, it was 2013 August 30th at 15:37, which is 3:37 p.m. You should put your date that you're currently doing this, because it'll be good practice for you to actually try it. Okay, so that is the post head. In the next section here, the post body, we're going to add a paragraph tag, and we're going to write just some text in here. So this is the body section of our blog post. In this section, I will write about things. I'll be sure to use the HTML tags I've been learning how to code. And we're going to use the abbreviation tag around HTML because it's an abbreviation. And HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. All right. Then let's add another paragraph tag. And let's say this is another paragraph. And I would like to quote the late, great Martin Luther King Jr., who once said, "I have a dream." And "I have a dream" is a quote, so we'll use the Q tag. And we just, for fun, we're going to wrap another paragraph in a span tag and give it the class of danger text. So if we were using CSS, maybe we would select the class of danger text and make it big, bold, and red or something like that. Okay, so under the paragraph tag, we want to add a block quote because we're going to be quoting Martin Luther King. And I have, again, it queued up right here, and I'm just going to copy some text. I'll grab a little more here. And I'm going to put a paragraph tag and paste it, but there were two paragraphs, so it ends here, and add some space here, and tab this in, put another paragraph, close the paragraph tag after the second paragraph. The cite, I'm going to cite this article and post the URL in there. So that's our block quote. So let's just check to see how it looks so far. So a blog post style web page. Here is a sample blog post article. So this is your header right up here. And then we have our article, which is everything in here so far with our sections and our block quote. Our quote right here. And we have our time right here. So let's go back to our index.html. And in our post foot, let's add a level 3 heading and say, like this article, check these out. And under the level 3 heading, we're going to add an unordered list that has a list item, and they're going to be links. So we're going to add an A tag and the attribute of href. And we're going to link the first one to span-div.html, and the text will be span_div. Copy that li and paste it 2 more times. That'll save you a little bit of time. Speaking of which, we are going to add time.html and time as the text. How appropriate. Okay, and the next one will be aside.html and aside as the text. All right, save that, save the post foot, and down here we have the aside tag. We're going to give it the ID of main-sidebar, and we're going to give an end comment saying end main sidebar so we know where it ends. In that, we're going to add a div. Close that div, and the div will have the ID of author-info and end author-info. Okay, and then we'll have the level 4 heading and say about the author. Paragraph tag would be appropriate next because we will write Brad makes websites and Udemy courses. Be sure to check out his other online courses. All right, that's it for the main sidebar. And then we have the footer. The footer should have the ID of main-footer. And let's end main footer here with an HTML comment and then a div. That div will have the class of copyright-info and an HTML comment saying end copyright info. Paragraph tag. Then we'll have the copyright symbol. 2013 Brad Hussey. Save that. Let's check out your final website. All right, here it is. It's incredibly ugly, but don't fret, because CSS will change that. However, a note on what you've done so far. This is really, really great because the HTML you coded is quite beautiful and semantic. There's actually a beauty in the HTML you just coded. I know it sounds funny and geeky, but it's true. If you want a really good HTML document that has a lot of meaning, you need to be semantic and you need to code it really well. And you just hand-coded an HTML5 document that's gorgeous. It has a nice header, articles, sections, time, block quotes, asides, footers, and you have really good uses of IDs and classes and attributes for your date, time, and your citing your block quotes. So this is actually really, really well coded. On the front end, it doesn't look so pretty. However, it's very semantic and easy to read. You can read it from top to bottom and understand everything that's happening. So good job on this. Up to this point, we've been covering a lot of HTML, and we're actually done the HTML portion of this course. We're going to be moving on to the CSS, which is going to be awesome because you're going to be inspired because you'll see how CSS can really make your websites look amazing. So I'll see you in the next section, my friends.